Hi, Tracy. You're the first one in here 2 days in a row, I think. Hey, CJ. Morning, Whiskey. Big, what's going on? Hello, hello, hello. Am I actually early? Yes, Neo, you're actually early. You did it. I've been on for 57 seconds. You're about as early as it gets. it doesn't get much earlier. The hat look crooked. Danielle, Carolyn, Shush, Ogden, Jean. What's going on, everyone? Ugh, that's what I needed. You got a haircut? I have not gotten a haircut. I haven't gotten a haircut in weeks, actually. I'm almost due for a new haircut. Hi, Patsy. Yeah, I'm almost due for a new haircut. Yeah, right. Ugh. Hey, Mystic. VJ Tamsin. Bill, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Should you start Jordan Love over Mahomes? Packers play the Bears. Kansas City plays. Who does Kansas City play? Oh, I would not start Mahomes against that defense with freaking Kansas City's banged up O line. Hell no. Do you think they'll still finish the ballroom if Trump dies? I don't have that one. You know what? You got me. That one you got me. I have no idea. I have no idea. That one I would need a crystal ball for. It's crazy. There's like 40 of y'all on the landscape one right now, landscape live, and I haven't seen a single comment from somebody. I haven't seen a single comment from somebody that wasn't a member. That's wild. Oh no, my package got delayed. What the hell? My package just got delayed. That's sad. I don't understand how. It says it was in my town at 4:21 this morning, and now it's saying package delayed in transit. You haven't seen Feisty for a while? Feisty, I don't know if Feisty was around yesterday. Feisty was definitely around before. It's probably still going to come happen to you last week. I hope so. It's actually it's live stuff actually. it's actually live stuff that's on its way. So for you guys watching me on the TikTokies over there, and then on the Portrait Live over on YouTube, I'm replacing that camera. So yeah, so for you guys who don't know, I actually have two cameras that are looking at me right now, in different orientations, and the camera that you guys are on is an older version of the camera. The camera that my landscape is on is actually on a newer camera, and I just cannot get them to look the same. And my OCD is driving me crazy that I can't get the coloration the same. So I just went out and bought a brand new camera to make them match, so that I can put the exact same settings in and make them look the same. Neither of them even look bad. It's just the fact that they look different. It's driving me nuts. Oh, you thought not for the live? It's for the live, not alive. Yeah, it's not alive. That would be a different scenario. Yeah. Yeah. Can you order puppies on Amazon? I really hope you can't buy puppies on Amazon, because that would be well, first of all, there'd be so much crime, I'm pretty sure. But second of all, like, that's the last thing I need, is be sitting in my house having a few drinks or whatever, and then be like, I want a puppy, and then just like, just hit the buy now. We're not even like adding it to the cart. Crap, I end up with like 6 different puppies in my house. I actually feel like absolute crap today, because after the live last night, we Ari and I went out last night, and there was a live band, and we were watching the Ohio State game, and anyways, the person sitting next to us had a dog, and the dog, so it was like the guy was sitting at the end of the bar, and then like Ari was sitting next to him, and I was sitting next to Ari, and the dog would just jump laps from like the owner to Ari to me, and it would just kind of go back and forth. It was super adorable. that was super fun. Hey, Alan. Yeah, it was super fun. Anyways, we were having a really good. Also, like there's a guy on the other side of Ari, and then there was a girl on the other side of me, and they kept staring at each other the whole time. And so like we ended up playing like matchmaker. It was pretty funny. It was a good time. I want a mix between Trump and Bernie. I don't even know how that makes sense. No Chargers Day? No Chargers Day. Chargers play tomorrow. Monday night game. So I won't be on tomorrow. Yeah, I won't be on tomorrow because because Chargers will be on. Duh. What is going on? Am I not in some weird thing over here? Am I? Uh-oh. I have to check some stuff. Oh no. I had it on. No wonder my chat rate was so low. I was on members only. I'm not on that on this too, am I? Is that why I'm only seeing members? Is because I have it set to members only? Oh my god, I do. I was so confused on why I could only see members in my chat. Sorry, y'all. I apologize. That was an accident. Dude, I was looking, like I was telling you guys, like I can see my chat rate, like so I can see how much chatting I'm getting, and I know what it generally should look like, right? And it was like it was, my chat rate in one of them was 0, and I'm like, why is it 0? Parental, I am also having that same problem. Guys, I love my members. We're not doing a members only chat yet. I want everybody to be able to participate. I want everybody to be able to participate. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, see, everybody on TikTok's like, what the heck? It'd be like if I set it to like super fans only on TikTok. Everybody's is low. I'm actually it was super high. It was honestly too high. It was honestly too high. That camera was expensive. Yeah, that's why I went to members only, because those cameras aren't cheap. Yeah, no, the algorithm changed. It moved everything down, and then I saw actually yesterday, Ari's live got back onto the algorithm. I saw it, so I'm hoping that mine does too in the next, in the next. Sorry, lives having like 500-600 lately, and it's been 1 to. Oh, it hasn't been 1 to 200. That's just because I'm just starting. It hasn't been a 1 to 200 unless I'm on the way up, which is what I'm doing right now. That's not. Yeah, that's not even close. They've been like 500-600 lately. They used to be 1,200-1,500. That's okay. Like I said, these algorithms are funky. TikTok's been the same way. Like I used to, like I was getting like 12 to 1,500, and then one day it just shot back down, and then one day it'll just shoot back up. You can't worry about it. You can't worry about it. Yes, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Ugh. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, these algorithms, I never know what these algorithms are doing. They just do what they want. You don't worry about it. Was that my mother? Yes, that was my mom. That was my mom. Yes, Lost, you should turn off your notifications. And so should everybody else. See, there's Feisty. Someone was just like, oh, I haven't seen Feisty in a while. There's Feisty. I'm on Discord. Are you in my Discord? Did you join my Discord channel? If you do, when you do that, then I'll just add the roll and then you'll be able to see all the stuff. All right, let's see. Yeah, hit the bell. What's your name over there, Me Too? Hello, how are you?
Sir? Hello?
What's up?
I'm good. Yourself? Oh, I'm good.
That's good. What's up?
Nothing much. I support Trump because we have to deport, we have to take the illegals out,
Why?
the aliens, because they're trafficking.
Because they're trafficking. All undocumented migrants are trafficking people.
Well, dude, like, obviously I don't want, like, normal people to go, but, like, it's just collateral damage at this point. Like, you have to get them out somehow, dude. Like, I'm
No,
sorry, but
actually, that's the exact opposite of what's going on. Donald Trump is specifically not targeting people that are trafficking people and is specifically targeting just normal people. It's not collateral damage.
that's not how that works, though.
That
That's not
is how that works. That is how it's working.
Why would you just, that's just propaganda, dude. Why would you do that?
And how
That's
is
just
that propaganda?
Because you would never do that.
I would never
Why
do
would you?
that. You're
That's such
correct,
a
but
waste of
I'm
time.
not.
That's such a waste of time.
I
Well,
agree.
what do you get? What would you gain from that?
I wouldn't gain anything because I wouldn't do it.
Would anyone? I'm saying. What would anyone?
I don't know.
gain?
Why does Donald Trump do half the things that he does that are a waste of time? Donald Trump just literally had FIFA create a peace award for him just for him to accept it. You don't think that's a waste of time?
Well, that was probably for some media reason.
For some media reason. So a waste of time.
Well, no, that's not a waste of time, dude. Media is very important these days.
Oh, okay. So maybe he's deporting all the people that are just normal people for a media reason.
Well, no, it's not. That's not really like that. That's not an.
Oh, so
every week
you
type
get to
thing.
decide what's a media reason
That's
and
it.
what's not. That makes sense.
It's only when there's like a bad incident that happens that it gets brought up. you know?
Yeah. No, Donald Trump's White House has specifically told him to stop targeting criminals and to start targeting just normal people. He's used things like the immigration courts specifically to target people that are they're trying to do things the right way. He specifically used the IRS to target people that are working and paying taxes. He is in no way attempting to just target people that are trafficking people. I wish he would. That would actually be a very good policy. I would actually very, very much support that.
Good policy.
If
It's
he,
doing its job.
it would be a good policy if that's what he was doing, but that's not what he's doing.
But they are seizing stuff, though. They are seizing stuff.
Yeah, accidentally.
Accidental. Okay, yeah, you're full of it, dude. You're full of it. Accidentally, they happen upon kilos and kilos of this shit.
Yeah, they were happening upon kilos and kilos of that shit before Trump took office. Also, did you think that this is our first time ever having a drug bust was under Trump?
Oh, no, they've
Well,
been doing
that's
it for a while.
guys. We have never had a drug bust in the United States from ICE up until
Oh,
Donald
okay.
Trump took presidency. That is
You guys are in your whole
that
other
is
world, dude. You guys
impressive.
are in your whole other world. It's so
I
funny.
wish they had thought of that earlier.
No idea what you're talking about.
I wish they had thought of that earlier. Guys, maybe
They
we
did,
should stop
but
people with
they
drugs.
didn't do it as good as him, though. They never did it as good as him.
Who never did it as good as him?
Everyone else.
Oh, gotcha. And what exactly is he doing better? And what part of Canada are you from?
Getting them en masse. I'm not a Canadian.
Yeah, okay. Come on, dude. You couldn't hide that accent if you tried, bro.
Buddy, I'm from Miami.
Bro, I talk to people every single day on this phone. You think I can't point out a Canadian?
Yeah,
What are you
can't.
talking about? That's
I'm in
literally
Broward
what
County
you
right now. Pull my
you
IP. Pull my
you
IP.
literally just said
Pull my
talking
IP.
about. I heard you. No one from Miami
Pull my IP.
says
I'm in
that.
Broward County right now, dude.
All right.
Pull my IP.
I didn't know there was a Miami, Canada. That's impressive. What province is
Yeah,
that
buddy.
in?
It's in Florida.
It's in Florida. Miami,
Yeah.
Canada is in Florida. That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
See,
This
you
is-
could
this-
have
this- this- you have to- this is what I'm saying. This is
lied
what you
better.
have to do 'cause you don't
You
use
could have
it.
lied better and been like, "Oh, I'm actually from Minnesota," and then like
That's not-
and then
that's-
like I would have
I'm
been
just trying
like,
to help you out,
"Oh,
dude.
okay, that's fine."
I'm just trying to help you out, buddy. I'm just trying to help you
Why are you
out.
trying to help me out? I don't need your help.
Because you're losing the debate, and you have to be like, oh,
What
you're
debate?
from fucking like Pakistan or whatever.
What
or
debate?
Canada.
This isn't a debate.
The one we were having. Well, whatever the discussion we were having. You guys
Yeah,
have to
this
pick
is-
it.
you don't
It's
even know
bullshit.
whether we're
You
having a
know
debate or
you're-
not.
You know you're just bullshitting.
You don't even know if we're having a debating or not. Have a debate or not. You don't even know what a debate is.
We're having a discussion that resembles a debate.
Yeah, this is not in any way, shape, or form count as a debate. Okay, but I'm sorry, sir. When Donald Trump's White House specifically tells the heads of ICE to not target criminals, you don't get to come over the top and be like, "Yep, he's specifically targeting criminals." It's not how that works.
Well, dude, you have to get a large. Dude, the best way to get them is to cast a net into the thing, not to fish for them. Is what
Incorrect.
Some people,
Nope.
Incorrect. He says,
That
all right,
that would be like saying like
Go fishing,
yeah,
buddy.
that'd be like
Go
saying like
fishing.
yeah, the best way to go deer hunting is to drop a nuclear bomb.
Well, I mean, yeah, you would hunt a lot more deers like that.
Yeah, and everybody else in the process and destroy the entire environment, and there would
Exactly,
never be
collateral
any more
damage.
deer ever
It's the
or
fastest way to
people.
do it. And
Yeah,
it is what it is. They can come
Yeah.
back later. They can come back later.
you can come back later to the nuclear wasteland.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No regret.
Apparently, you don't know how
No
nuclear
regret.
bombs work either.
Well, Chernobyl's not going to be Chernobyl forever. So I don't think you do.
Nope, Chernobyl will be Chernobyl forever. Yeah,
Do you think it's not.
yeah. Unless they change the name of the
It's not
city,
going to
it'll
last
still-
forever. It's not going to
it'll-
last. You
yeah,
guys are actually in a whole different planet.
You know
You're in a
that
whole different
Chernobyl is
planet.
just the name of the city, right? So that doesn't change.
Well, yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean when I say that.
Yeah,
though. You know
the
what I mean when I
city
say
the
that.
city name doesn't change because
The level of
you-
radiation will go down as time goes on. is what I
Oh
mean.
yeah, that would be the correct way to say it. That's good. That's better.
Yeah. But you knew what I meant. You were just trying to nitpick because you know you're losing.
Yeah, sir. Again, you don't. People winning arguments don't have to say that they're winning.
I didn't say I was. I said you were
Yeah.
losing. I didn't say I was winning.
Yes, sir. If I'm losing, that would mean
You
you're
can't even
winning.
do it
You do
good.
not
You're
know
already
how
good at
winning
this,
and
dude.
losing works, sir.
You're not even good at it.
Sir,
I mean,
you could
dude,
not
just
piss
'cause
me
you
off,
lose doesn't
sir.
mean I win.
Sir, I'm hungover. Okay, and this is
Yeah,
a
dude.
This is a waste of a conversation. Okay,
All right.
so I'm gonna move on.
This is a burn from the cocaine from last night, dude. We're band for band right now.
So this is a waste of a conversation. So I'm gonna stop having it with you to move on to somebody that actually wants to have a conversation. Sound good?
Running
So
on
I
teasing.
hope you have whatever day that you'd like to have. Okay.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right. Bye bye. All right. We're going to up these phone lines, keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Jason, thank you so much for the $2. Said this clown doesn't represent me, eh? I got my igloo. What the heck? Who's up on my live? How did you get up here?
What?
How did you get up on my live?
Ari let me up or something.
Oh, that's interesting. Dude,
Who's Ari?
dude literally just said, I'm from British Columbia in the chat, by the way, guys. Literally in the chat, for the guys who can't see which chat he's in, he literally just said that last guest said he was from British Columbia. That's why I left. Bro, you guys can't handle me. I can pick out where you're at in a heartbeat, dude. I listen to people's accents all day long. Okay? Y'all don't start with me. All right? Don't start with me. Anyways, CJ, thank you so much for the 5 gifted too. Big W's in the chat for the 5 gifted. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I literally listen to people talk every single day. Every single day. Okay. I can pick out somebody's accent. Okay. I'm real good at it. Thank you so much, CJ. Big W's in the chat for that. Anyways, why did Ari invite you up? Were you in like the chat chirping or something?
He could have moved to Miami.
Yeah. If he had said that, then I would have believed him, but that's not what he said.
Right.
Yeah. But
Um,
regardless, what were you in there chirping or something? I wasn't paying attention.
I don't think I was actually. You know what? I said win guest because I agree with him. We should blow these narco T boats out of the water.
Okay. And what proof do you have that they're narco T boats?
We have name a country in the world who has better intelligence than we do.
Name a country in the world that has better intelligence than we do. I don't know if there is one. Yeah, but let me ask you another question. What percentage of boats that are interdicted in international waters by the Coast Guard are actually carrying drugs when they believe that they are carrying drugs?
It doesn't matter because
sir. You can tell me it doesn't matter, but you're going to answer the question first, and then you can explain why it doesn't matter.
Okay, because I'll tell you why it doesn't matter.
No, I don't care why you think it doesn't matter. Listen to me. No, shh.
No, I'm
listen to me,
telling you why.
sir. I'm going to finish on with that. I don't care yet. I said you can answer the question and then you can explain. Do you know what percentage of boats interdicted in international waters by the Coast Guard that they believe to be carrying drugs are actually carrying drugs?
No, tell me.
Okay, it's about 75%. So about 25% of the
Right.
time, 1 in 4 times that they're wrong. Okay. So
Right.
even with all of that intelligence, okay, that you say that we have, all right, in order to figure out what boats are carrying drugs, we are wrong 1 in every 4 times.
No, that's a Coast Guard though. My
Yes.
my brother my brother was in the Coast Guard, and he told me that they basically just stop boats randomly, just like cops have. They have checkpoints. Not everyone's going to be drunk, obviously, but they're going to catch some people that are. Other people, they're just going to check their papers
That's
and they're
not
going
what
to
I'm
move on.
talking about, sir. I'm
Yeah.
not talking
Yes,
about the
you
coast.
are.
No, I'm not. I am
You
not,
are.
sir. You're telling me what I'm talking about?
No, my brother was
Sir,
in the
I don't
Coast
give a
Guard.
shit about your brother in the Coast Guard. That's not what I'm talking about. I am not
You just
talking about boats that the Coast Guard is randomly stopping along the way to check for this or check for that, make sure your papers are good. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking on based off intelligence gathered, okay, that they believe that drugs are being brought in the United States. So they send boats out specifically to target boats that they believe, based off intelligence, are carrying drugs. Okay, they're wrong 1 in every 4 times.
who?
What?
The Coast Guard?
Yes, sir. Okay, so that all of that
Dude,
intelligence
I
that,
just told you
insane.
the Coast Guard
sir.
doesn't use intelligence.
So you're telling me there's no Coast Guard intelligence? Because
Yeah,
that is very, very, very easily proven wrong. You know that, right?
do you know anyone in the Coast Guard?
Yes, there are quite a few
Who?
actually, dozens
Who?
actually.
Who?
Oh,
Who?
John and Mark and Steve. Like what? Like if I say their names, you're gonna know who they are.
Yeah, you're making that up.
like if I say their names, you're gonna know who they are. I know people in all different branches of our government and in our military and in Homeland Security. Okay, I know people all across. I've been around quite a bit.
So it's your contention that all those boats
Let me ask you.
are not.
Let's ask you another question. Has military intelligence ever gotten it wrong?
Yeah, probably.
They
but
get it wrong
we're not-
all the time, sir. We fought an entire war based on weapons of mass destruction. Okay, that weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist. All
Well,
right.
You think we're up in the sky just picking out boats and just firing on them?
No, I think that there is intelligence, I'm sure, to make them believe that there are drugs on these boats. What I'm also saying, all right, is that intelligence can be wrong. Okay, first of all. Second of all, okay, the punishment for moving drugs is not death. Okay?
Yeah,
So-
it is if you're a T group.
So,
That is if you're a T group.
oh, gotcha. So you believe, all right. So you believe. So say we're in the United States, right? Which I am. I don't know where you're at, right? I'm in the United States, and the police believe that somebody is moving drugs in their car down the freeway. They should be able to. They should be able to just open fire and just absolutely, kill anybody in the car, right? Just off the belief that they might be carrying drugs. That's what you believe.
If they're marked a T group and that's the law.
If they're marked a T group and that's the law, none of this is the law. There is
Yes, it is.
there is no law that
Yes,
says
it
that you
is.
can kill people, okay,
Bro.
that are part of T groups just because Donald Trump just decided to designate them a T group. Donald Trump has also said that the left, okay, and that the what he calls the radical left is a domestic terrorist group. Should now the U.S. military be able to go and just kill anybody who's on the left?
Dude, if it's marked a T group, we have
sir,
the option.
Sir,
We
I
have
just
the
asked you a
option.
question. Do you
We have the
believe that the
option.
U.S. military should be going into cities and killing anybody on the left because Donald Trump said that they're a domestic terrorist group?
No, because we don't.
No, but Donald Trump said that they're a domestic terrorist group. He said that.
They can, but we don't.
Oh, gotcha. So you do believe that according to the law, they have the authority to do so.
Yeah, bro, we don't live in a hypothetical world, okay?
We're
And I
not living
can't
in
bel-
one. Donald Trump did call the left a domestic terrorist group, and Donald Trump also called freaking drug cartels a terrorist group. It's the same thing, okay? He said both of them, okay? He designated both of them. All right. Just because
I
Donald Trump
cannot-
designates someone a terrorist group doesn't mean that you can just kill them. And not to mention the fact that we don't even know if the people that are on those boats are part of those cartels to begin with.
Dude, I can't believe you're siding with these T groups that are
No,
narco
no, no,
terrorists that
no,
are
absolutely
trying to
not,
kill
sir, sir,
Americans.
sir. First of all, they're
You
2,000,
are.
sir. First of all, they're
You
2,000,
are.
sir, they're 2,000 miles away from America in boats that can't reach here. Okay. I believe that we should stop those boats, right? Find out who's on them, right? If they
No.
committed a crime, I believe that they should be either brought to the United States to be prosecuted or sent back to their country to be prosecuted for their drug crimes. I believe
No.
the drugs should be destroyed. Okay. Honestly, once we stop them, you can bury them under the jail if they're trafficking in people or anything
Okay.
like that. I think that is horrible. But what I do have a problem with is just bombing people when we don't know who's on the fucking boat. Okay. We don't know that. You just like death for the purpose of death.
Bro, did your buddies in the Coast Guard, did they pull boats over, and if they found drugs on them, then they would send them back to their country and and or detain them? Did they do that?
Sir, my buddies in the Coast Guard don't matter, okay? Because we don't talk about what the Coast
No.
Guard does. Sir, hold on. I don't need
Sorry.
to talk about the Coast Guard in reference to your buddies and my buddies, and we can just say he said, she said about, whatever. We have all of the data to show that when the Coast Guard stops somebody, they find out they're trafficking drugs. That is
Right.
exactly what they do. Okay, they
Right.
arrest them, they put them
Yeah.
into custody, and then they
Yep.
either prosecute them in the United States or send them back to
Correct.
their countries to be prosecuted.
Correct.
Yes,
Right. We agree there.
yes, and
We
I
agree.
agree. Do we disagree that that's the right thing to do?
No, we agree. And so where we disagree is how's that working? How is that working? Good? War on drugs.
It's
Was that working
working.
well?
No, the war on drugs was a complete failure, sir. But that didn't have anything to do with the war on drugs. First of all, and second of all, again,
No.
those
No, how was that?
sir. If
How?
the purpose is to stop drugs from coming in the United States, which I believe should be a priority, right? I believe that we should be doing that. I think you agree with me on that, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Then why are we targeting boats coming from Venezuela? Okay, when the number one drug in the United States that is killing people is fentanyl, and fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela whatsoever. Okay, the only thing that is possibly coming from Venezuela would be cocaine, right?
Right.
But if you were targeting boats coming out of countries going for cocaine, Colombia would be a much stronger one to go after. All right,
Yeah.
because less than 10% of cocaine in the United States comes out of Venezuela. So we're not
Right.
targeting the right people. If the goal is to stop, narcos from bringing in drugs, we're not even targeting the right people.
What is cocaine laced with?
What is cocaine laced with? Is that a trick question? Cocaine can be
No.
laced with lots of things.
I know, but there was another overdose in a university last night, and it was laced with fentanyl. So you don't play
Sir,
dumb.
sir, but then why aren't we going
Don't
after
play
the
dumb.
fentanyl?
We are.
We're not. We're bombing
are.
boats 2,000 miles away.
No.
Sir, we're bombing boats 2,000 miles away that do not have the capability of getting to the United States shores. Okay. I'm not saying whether they have drugs or not on them. I'm sure many of them do. Right.
Okay.
But they're in small like speedboats that do not have the capacity to travel 2,000 miles over open ocean, and that's
Right.
where we're hitting them. So we have no idea whether those drugs were coming to the United States, going to Europe, any of that. Hell, the boat that's been all over the news that they killed those survivors on was turned back around and going towards Venezuela. It wasn't even coming towards the United States.
Right. So, do you know that they don't have to land in a port to get them into the United States, right?
What do you mean they don't have to land in a port? Are they going to teleport the drugs here?
No, they go to the Caribbean islands where there are massive drug problems coming into the United States by going from island to island.
So gotcha.
You could see.
Gotcha.
You-
So,
you could-
so
you-
ju-
you
just to be
could
clear,
see-
just to be clear. So what you're saying is these boats may or may not have drugs on them. Okay.
No.
Hold on, sir.
I'm
Hold on.
saying
Hold
they
on, sir.
do.
Hold on.
I'm saying they do.
They're trafficked by people who may or may not be part of cartels. Okay.
No,
Because we
I'm
already
saying they
know.
are.
No, because we already know that the cartel has a very, 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 very long-lasting habit of kidnapping people's families and telling them that they're going to kill their entire families if they don't get on the boat and move stuff. So we don't know whether there's drugs on the boats for sure. We don't know whether these people are part of terrorist organizations because they could just be victims themselves. Not to mention that like that first boat or whatever had 11 people on it, which seems kind of weird for a drug boat. I'm pretty sure that some of those people on that boat were also possibly being trafficked. right?
Right.
So we kill them for drugs to get to a Caribbean island where it may or may not end up in the United States, possibly. And due to all of this stuff, the punishment for that is to kill them.
Bro, keep
Sir,
defending.
sir,
keep
sir, no,
defending
sir,
narco terrorists.
sir. See, that's what you're confusing, sir. I'm not defending narco terrorists. What I do understand,
you are.
sir, what I do understand is the way that we do things matters. Okay?
Yes.
We can both
And at
agree,
the top
sir.
of this
Sir, we can both agree.
conversation-
No, sir, we can both
At the
agree.
top of this
sir,
conversation,
we can both agree.
agreed that
sir,
we have the best intelligence in the world.
Yeah, and just because we have the best intelligence in the world doesn't mean that it's always right. Okay? And we both agree on that too, right? Yes or no?
No, we're 100% on this one.
Okay. So what we have a difference in is I don't believe, okay, that murdering people, okay, when we don't have all the information and do not
We
know
have the information.
then where is it, sir? Then where is it? Because the information was requested by Congress, and Congress just
Okay.
came out with the intelligence and said that it was disturbing
Yeah.
and that we did not have all the information. So
you want
where
me
are
to
you
bring it
getting this
up?
information? Yes, I would love to see the intelligence
Okay.
on this. Please and thank you.
Let me read it to you.
No, I don't want
okay?
you to read it to me. I want you to tell me where I can find it so I can put it on the screen for everybody else to see. So please tell me where I can find the intelligence report.
How do I send you
Just
a
tell me
link?
where I can find it.
No, it's a very long link.
That's fine.
Okay.
Where's it at? What website is it on?
I cannot send you a link, dude.
Sir,
Let me just read it for
sir,
a second.
what is the
me
name
just read-
of the website? That is what
It's-
I'm asking for.
Okay. It's called DearNarcoterrorist.com.
Nope. DearNarcoterrorist.com.
Here's
That's
the
DearNarcoterrorist.com is the
here's
website, sir, is the
here's
website with the official U.S. intelligence report on it.
here's how our intelligence works, so you can subvert us.
Gotcha.
Let's
So
make
what
it-
U.S.
let's
intelligence
make it a
does is they
national-
build entire intelligence reports and then they post it on DearNarcoterrorist.com.
Let's
Just to be
make
clear.
it known to every narco terrorist so that they can go around us. Let's make the intelligence.
Sir, I don't believe the intelligence should be public. And it's not public. That's how I know you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're claiming that our intelligence was correct and you
100%.
haven't seen the intelligence. That's a
100%.
That's a lot of faith in our government, sir, and in our intelligence apparatus, and in and our government as a whole. I personally do not have that much faith in it whatsoever, based off the fact that intelligence has been wrong a whole bunch. But even, sir, even if
No, that's fair. That's fair. I trust them more than you do.
yeah, that's weird. Honestly, our intelligence has been wrong
it
so
isn't.
many fucking times.
No, it
like
isn't.
our intelligence has been wrong so many fucking times. Okay, like so many fucking times. All right, and not saying that we don't have a great intelligence apparatus. We do. All right, but if we're using that entire intelligence apparatus and we are using it specifically for boats for a country that it was not the primary place where we get our drugs from, right?
It's insane.
In order to kill people who are posing no threat, okay, who could be interdicted, okay. Not to mention the fact that if we do it, like even if they were like part of like our cartel group, which I assume some of them are, right? I can make that assumption, right? Then it would be much better to then detain them, get them, be able to question them. That way we can actually find people up the chain that actually be able to stop them.
We tried to do that, and that didn't work too well.
Actually, it worked really well. Like with
it
how we
didn't.
had how we had the president of Honduras in prison for trafficking over 500 tons of
When
cocaine
was
in the
that?
United States.
When was that? When was that?
Oh, what was that? Like 15 years ago, 20 years ago?
Oh, and that worked well.
It did. We got the head of the snake. Oh, wait.
That
And then
That stopped the drugs coming in.
oh, you think this is stopping the drugs coming in?
Oh, there are no more boats in the Caribbean.
Sir, do you think that is stopping drugs from coming in?
It's making a huge
It is not even making a fucking.
Oh, okay.
It is not even slowing it
Okay.
down. But sir, that when we did get to the head of the snake and we finally got to the freaking head person, Donald Trump pardoned him. Why did Donald
that's
Trump?
why-
Why did Donald Trump pardon someone who's convicted of bringing over
Thank you for
500
the
tons
follow.
of cocaine in?
That's why we're going to go on land and take out
Sir,
the
I asked you a question. Why did Donald Trump pardon someone who was convicted of bringing 500 tons of cocaine in the United States?
because all presidents pardon bad people.
I didn't ask you about all presidents pardoning bad people.
No, you
I'm
asked
asking
me
about
why.
Sir, I'm asking why Donald Trump, because you're telling me that Donald
I
Trump,
just told you.
sir, you're telling me that Donald Trump is trying to stop what you labeled as narco terrorists. Okay, that's what you said. So if Donald Trump is trying to stop narco terrorists, then why did he pardon one of the largest ones?
I just told you.
What did you
I
tell
just
me?
told you.
Because
Because
presidents
all
pardon
pres-
people?
all-
That doesn't make any fucking
all pres-
sense, sir. That makes
All
zero
presidents
fucking sense.
pardon bad people.
Sir, all
I just
presidents
said that.
pardoning bad people does
Yes.
not answer the question.
Yes, it does.
It
You
doesn't
asked me
even
for a
slightly
reason.
answer the question.
Yes, it does.
It does
you just
not.
asked me the
It
reason.
does not.
Yes, it
It does not, sir. It
That
doesn't.
was
It
my
doesn't.
answer.
It does. Well, your answer doesn't answer the question. It can be your answer. That's totally fine.
No,
your
actually-
answer doesn't
actually-
answer. It'd be like if I
actually, no.
asked. It'd be like if I asked you, like what 2 + 2 is, and you were like purple. Like, yes, that is technically an answer. You did respond with words. It doesn't answer the question.
No, it
Okay.
doesn't.
It doesn't
answer
have
the-
anything to
you
do with
don't-
it. Donald Trump does
don't
not
get the
care.
answer you
Donald
want.
Trump does not care about stopping people from bringing drugs in the country. Because if he did, he wouldn't be pardoning people that do it. He wouldn't be making friends with El Chapo's family and bringing them over the United States and giving them the ability to stay in the United States. Donald Trump wants to go into Venezuela to
you
get
give me-
oil. Okay.
Okay.
He wants to get oil, and that's why he's shooting down boats over there, because he wants to go get oil. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He doesn't care anything about drugs. Okay. I'm sorry.
So using your example, so Obama pardoned, I believe her name was Mary something Steele. She was convicted of second-degree homicide on her husband, and so you're claiming that because he
I
pardoned
don't know anything
her,
about her.
he doesn't care about homicide?
I don't know
Come on.
any of the situation around it, sir.
I'll just look it up.
I could look it up. You want me to look it up right now?
Yeah, you can if you
Okay.
want.
Well, how about this? You answer to me. Okay. Why you claim that Donald Trump cares about drugs and why he's pardoning a narco terrorist, and give me an actual answer, and then I'll look it up. If you actually can actually respond with an actual answer, then I will actually look it up.
So if I answer your question, then when you look it up, then will you say
No, sir. I'm
that
not going
Obama
to agree to anything because I'm going to look. I don't answer
homicide?
questions before doing the research, unlike you. So answer the question and I'll look it up. Okay. Sir, I'm holding up my end of the deal. I'm already putting it in there. Are you going to answer my question?
I did.
No, you did not. All right. Well, then I'm not answering. And then I'm not going to pull it up. Then I'm not going to waste my time. If you're going to be disingenuous, I'll be genuine and look up your side of the story. But if you're not going to do the same for me, then I'm not going to worry about it.
Oh, do you want me to look it up too?
I don't want you to look it up. I want you to answer the fucking question. And if you can't do that, honestly, I'm probably just going to move on to the next person. Oh, he ran. He ran. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. He took off. I guess he didn't like that question. I guess he didn't like that one. He was a special kind of special. Francesca, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. He said, I swear some people are privileged to have a cheat code of free time, think these thoughts and defend futile beliefs. Yeah, I don't know where they get all this this time to be able to do that. Pretty wild. Why can't I pin that? Oh, anyways, thank you so much. Feisty, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said caller is sick and vile. Caller just, I don't think he was too bright, but you know what it is. I don't know. Jay, thank you so much for the $5 super chat for, says this guy thinks narcos deserve a death sentence without due process and he thinks it's funny. Yeah, I don't know what their thing is with like just unnecessary death. They seem to be very into just like, like killing people for no reason. I don't know where the humanity was lost in America. It's really, really sad. Andy, thank you so much for the clapping seal. I really appreciate that. Alan, thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate that. Feisty with the 5 gifted. Big W's in the chat for Feisty for the 5 gifted over here. Oh my, we're already at 10 gifted. We might get to 20 gifted today. I'm excited. I really appreciate you guys. And I'm the problem with the $50 super chat. Said these idiotic people and their fake talking points facts literally driving me crazy. Not one of these pea-brain fuckers can think critically. P.S. Sorry I missed your birthday. Oh, thank you so much. We're calling that a late birthday present. I really, really appreciate that. Huge W's in chat for everybody who just donated, and an extra big W in there for Heathen. Sorry, that's Heathen. I don't care what the person is. It's Heathen. For the huge $50 super chat, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very, very sweet. Well, normally I would open up the phone lines right now, but we haven't been rocking with the TikTok guests. I haven't been doing TikTok guests very much lately, but we'll do one more just for fun. I really appreciate that. Oh, this is already going great, by the way.
You know the Biden witch hunt? That's where all that drug operation was from. You know?
No, I don't think that was a coherent sentence.
Yep. It was linked to the Biden witch hunt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
His drug habit.
Huh?
Yep. Look it up.
I don't even know what to look up.
Hunter Biden witch hunt. And that's why all this drug bullshit is happening.
Okay.
Oh, schooled motherfucker. Whoa.
Man, you got me, dude.
Liberals are fucking toast, man.
Great, man. Well, you did awesome. I just want to let you know that.
Bro,
okay?
You are fucking toast.
Yep, you nailed it. All right, man. Well,
You're a clown.
You go enjoy that win, okay?
You're a fucking clown, dude.
All right. Well, you go enjoy.
Grow up.
All right, buddy. All right. Don't have an aneurysm over here, okay? All right, let's open up the phone lines. That's enough with those guests today. That's enough with those guests today. Hello, how are you?
Good evening or good afternoon where you're at. I did want to just share a little bit of information. And first of all, I want to back up to your conversation about the illegal aliens flooding the United States, or specifically the blue cities. I think the problem with that, and let me start by saying I've voted Democrat pretty much my whole life since about 1982. And I do want to point out that the problem with the illegal aliens is the blue cities that they congregate in have had problems with rents doubling. And the problem, whether you call them legal or illegal, when you're a visitor in a country and the country wants you to leave, then it's not really a matter of being arrested or committing a crime. It's simply the country saying, okay, it's time for you to leave. Now,
sir, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I'm talking about rent doubling in the blue cities, like Chicago, for instance.
Rents are going up in or doubling across the United States. We're seeing significant rent increases, regardless of whether it's a blue city, a red city. Well, I don't know where the fuck you live. Okay, I live in Florida. Okay, which is, sir, I also live in a red state, and rent prices are through the fucking roof.
Well, that would be because the demand is higher than the availability.
Yes, because that's always, sir, because that's always why rent goes up.
I'm paying $600 in a 2-bedroom cabin on a lake in a red state, and my rent goes up $10 every 3 years, maybe. So I have many friends in blue cities. For instance, a girl who is still battling cancer, had a $800 1-bedroom apartment in a suburb outside of Chicago. And when the illegal aliens started to descend into Chicago, her next lease agreement was for $1,900.
We didn't have illegal aliens descending into Chicago.
There are none?
There are none, of course. There's some everywhere. You're
Well,
making it
they
sound
don't-
like
they don't-
Chicago had a larger
The
problem with it
reason
than
they're
other
not
people.
in
They
red
didn't.
states is because they don't get the programs,
Actually,
availability,
that's
the food.
incorrect. Actually, according to census
That is
data
not
from sir,
incorrect.
actually according
Let
to
me
census,
say-
sir,
that
sir,
was-
sir, stop talking. Thank you. According to census data from October to May, October of last year to May of this year, we're actually seeing a lot of migration from migrants in the United States from places like New York and California down into places like Texas and Florida. And we're seeing it at actually
Well,
a
lot
very,
of the
very high
programs
rate.
have ended. A lot of the assistance programs have ended. So
That's
that
not
very well
why,
could be
sir.
true.
That's not why people go from one state to
Oh, it's
another,
not?
and it's not why people go to certain areas, especially for
Why do
migrants,
they?
because of work and cost of living. Okay,
Now,
and cost of
are
living
you
is,
aware of
sir,
what's going-
and cost of living is
Can I
higher,
speak?
sir. Yes, you can, but you asked me a question, and I'm in the middle of answering it. You asked me why is that, and I am in the middle of answering it, and you're cutting me off to stop me from
I thought you
answering
already
it.
answered it.
I did not. I was still answering it. Thank you. I said because of cost of living, okay, and of work availability, all right, and blue states, because I'm so sick of hearing this blue cities shit. It's the most ridiculous thing ever, all right. But the blue states tend to have a higher cost of living, and so for people that, especially migrants, all right, that do not have a exorbitant amount of income, or definitely not like middle class from as far as wage earnings is concerned, right? It is more beneficial. Their dollar goes a long way, a lot further in places that are red, and so they tend to go to places that are red. Now I'm finished.
Okay. I'm a Democrat. In 2010,
Sir,
And
I'm
I
not
was
a
a very-
Democrat. You can stop saying that. I don't care.
no, I've been a Democrat. I'm an independent now.
Okay. You
I
can
mean,
you can
Donald
stop
Trump
talking
was a
about the
Democrat
you
up
can
until
stop
he ran.
talking about being a Democrat. It does not mean anything
Can I
to me.
please speak?
Can you please stop saying I'm a Democrat? That's all I'm asking. You've said it like 8 times.
I've been voting Democrat
I
twice as
don't
long as you've
care.
been on this planet.
You've been voting Democrat for 80 years?
You're 40
You must-
years old.
You must
look
have
good for 40.
you must have a very, 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 very good genes.
Let's stay on topic, okay? Because when we change topics, when you change topics, you're losing the debate or the conversation, whatever you'd like to call it.
I'm
So
not
let's stay on
changing
topic.
topics, sir. I'm trying to stay on one, but I'm just tired of you trying to qualify it. You
Listen,
think
in
for some reason you're
2010,
qualifying your argument by saying I'm a Democrat or I voted Democrat. I don't care. Just
I
get
have
to the
been
point.
a Democrat forever.
I
Now I'm
don't
an independent.
care. Just say your
I'm
argument,
coming
dude.
to the point here. If
Can you
I
please
could.
get there quicker?
I'm very good at being quiet when you speak. Can you please?
You have
allow
not. You've cut me
to
off at
think?
least 4 times during this conversation. Now, please go ahead.
In 2010, I had a very large YouTube channel, and I was approached by the name of, remember this name, Dr. John Coleman. Dr. John Coleman came up to me at an antique show where I had a booth. I had a lot of spy equipment in that, and he picked up some of the spy equipment and started talking about it. Dr. John Coleman told me when he walked away from me that I would be approached by a retired general. That general's name was General McInerney. He was a 3-star general. What Dr. John Coleman told me in 2010, he told me so much. He sat there for an hour and a half and explained to me what was going to happen in the United States in the next 2 decades. In that time, everything he said has happened. And what I did is I went on my big YouTube channel and I regurgitated everything he said. And then those things started to happen, so my channel grew. For me to get 300,000 views in a video was not a good video. 600,000 views was the average. Why? Because I simply regurgitated what a gentleman who explained to me he was a British spy who defected to the United States. He was MI5 and MI6. He was present at the meeting at the Four Seasons Hotel in New York, where Hillary Clinton was told by the Queen's handler, who was her best friend since childhood, he was her bodyguard. At 5'3", he was her bodyguard. Now, Dr. John Coleman has one video on YouTube. It's from 1996, and he shares a lot of the same information that he told me that day. At that meeting with Hillary Clinton, in 19, actually, I think that meeting was 1992 or 1991, because he told her, the Queen's handler said, if you go back to your husband, he will become president and you someday will become president. So when Hillary Clinton started to run, and the specific that she said to him was, you will have the popular vote. Dr. John explained to me that the next president of the United States is cooler talk in MI5 and MI6 2 years before it happens. So if you want to know what's going to happen in the United States in the future, you can watch the video by Dr. John Coleman, and it's 2 or 3 people have it. YouTube keeps taking it down. It's extremely accurate information. And you can tell now that most of those things that Dr. John Coleman predicted have already happened. What Dr. John Coleman told me is that there truly is no difference between everyone.
Wow.
I think here's something we can both agree on. There
Wow.
are probably 15 people in Congress.
All right. Well, I think that's enough of that, right? I think if I let him go, I don't think this will ever end. I think we could just I think I could have left. I think I could have left the live. Oh. Yeah. Hey, sir.
Do we
Sir,
agree?
hey, sir. Have a wonderful day, okay? All right. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. All right. Keep this thing going. Jason, thank you so much for the $5. Said, why are they so focused on winning and losing debates? Not enough attention from mommy and daddy. The fuck is this guy taught? I have no idea what the hell I just listened to. Okay? I have no idea what the hell I just listened to. All right? I thought it was going to get funny because I was like, oh, this will be a fun clip that I can make for like a video later. That's what I was thinking. And it just kept going. We were talking about him being a Democrat and something about rent with immigration. And then we just went completely off the rails there. Y'all, y'all make sure you hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. If you guys like to support the live, I do have super chats, super stickers, all that fun stuff. Have my little live gift goal. I also have pay links in the bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics. So if you like to support that way, that's another great way to do it. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're gonna reopen. Then maybe we'll have we're gonna try to have an actual conversation over here. What is going on? We're gonna try to actually have a conversation over here. We're gonna give it the old college try. What is going on over here, dude? Hello.
Hey, so yeah, I think can you hear me well?
Yeah, how old are you?
What's that?
How old are you?
42.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Say it again?
Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
All right. What's on your mind?
Oh, just he has lower personal taxes.
What's that?
He prefers lower personal taxes. Lower personal income tax?
Yeah, that's no different than Kamala Harris does.
What's that?
That's no different than what Kamala Harris did. When I do also.
Yeah,
so.
but he's the one who proposed it first.
No, he wasn't. You think Donald Trump is the first person to propose lower taxes?
No. I'm saying during the 2016, he's the first one that lowered, not the first one that lowered it. He's the person that lowered it.
Yeah, he lowered it minimally. I think on average it was like 1% to 2%.
Yeah, but why should government take more of my money?
It doesn't, sir. The government's taking your money. It's just on an average, it was like a 1 to 2% lower. I mean, I think it's like $600 a year that like an average
Right.
middle class person saves. Like, it's not that serious. And the whole point of
No,
having lower
well, you
taxes,
can't say dollar
sir,
amount's not serious,
sir,
right? I
the
mean, just say,
Sir, the whole
okay,
point of
okay, I'll
having
let you
lower,
speak.
sir, it's okay to want lower taxes. I don't have an issue with people wanting lower taxes. But the thing about having lower taxes, you also need lower spending, right? You need both, right? Because you can't slow down the income of the US government and then not slow down the spending of the US government. Donald Trump has done the opposite. That's why in his first term he added more to the national debt than any president has done in American history in 4 years, right? And he also added on to that with giant corporate tax cuts, which is actually the bigger problem. If Donald Trump had just done lower individual tax cuts, I don't think we would be near the situation that we're in right now. But he added $8.4 trillion in national debt in the first term. That's money that we're going to have to pay back, right? So yeah, you got a temporary individual tax cut, right? But
Well, can I speak for a second? So, no, I think the spending is horrible. So I'm not fighting on the spending part, but I think lower corporate tax and personal tax, the government should not take more money because they don't provide enough service that the private sector can provide.
no, they don't, but they can. That's what I'm talking about, sir. The entire point is that if you're going to have lower taxes, okay, then you need to have lower government spending because they're not providing that service, right? That's
No,
the issue, right? They totally have the ability to provide that service. They're choosing not to. Donald Trump is taking money and using it on things that aren't helping the American people, right? And again, he's still spending that money. He's just not getting it from you. And Donald Trump, even more further than that, he's freaking raising tariffs, which is essentially a tax. So while you got a 1 to 2% tax rate reduction, right, on our $600 a year, you're paying way more than that to the federal government in tariff costs.
no, I don't agree with the tariffs. Okay, I think tariffs are wrong. I'm saying I don't agree with the spending either. But I think in a way, everyone should be paying less taxes because you can decide how you want to spend it. Tax is almost like there's no way for me to choose how to spend it.
But you're
It's
not
more like
paying
a
less
volunteer.
taxes. That's what I'm telling you. You're
I'm
not
saying
paying less taxes.
no. I'm paying less taxes, but I'm not. The money I get saving, I might spend it on something else, right? But it's more of a volunteer system. I could buy, let's say, steel, which has very high tariffs. I could avoid buying steel and buy aluminum. That's a choice. But when they just tax you, the government decides where they want to spend it on. There's a big difference between that. So tax is not very volunteer. Yes.
You can't avoid blanket tariffs. Okay? If you eat, you're paying tariffs.
No, I can avoid tariffs by
You
buying
can't
American,
shoot.
right?
You can't,
Nope.
sir. American agriculture is not at the level where if you go grocery shopping, you're buying everything from America. It's not possible.
No, I'm saying, but you're saying there's no way for me to avoid tariffs. There
There's
is a way to
not.
avoid tariffs.
There is literally
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Everything that
So
everything that you do, everything that you own has something foreign in there, right? If you own a car, there are foreign parts in that car,
no,
right?
I understand that part, but I'm saying not everything you buy has tariffs. I think probably there's all things that are component of the parts. There's actually some stuff is fully 100% American made. There's no tariff. I mean, the item might cost more, but that's something I can avoid, right? I could say, hey, I don't
No,
like
you
tariffs,
can't.
or I'm willing to pay tariffs, right?
You can't.
So it's a choice.
You can't. You can you think that you can avoid blanket tariffs and you can't, okay? And regardless of any of that, you're just saying that if you're completely avoiding anything that's foreign made, then most likely you're spending more money regardless. Okay, because you're spending more on that thing. So all you're saying is you just like to choose the way the government takes your money. You don't care that they're taking your money. You just want to choose the way in which they do it, which I mean, I guess that's fine. It doesn't really make much sense to me for you to be paying more because on average Americans are paying more in taxes now, okay, based off of the tariff costs than they were before, right? So you get a tax rate reduction, you pay more in
They're paying
tariffs.
more taxes. They're costing,
A
spending more money.
tariff is a tax.
A tariff is a tax on the item you choose to be taxed, right? That's a choice. There's still a choice there. I don't think you see what I'm saying.
No, I really
I
don't
prefer
see
the
what you're
choice.
saying, sir. You're just saying I'm okay with spending more money in taxes as long as I have the choice, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
Wait, so I guess in your scenario, the choice is not a factor, right? The
Sir,
choice
you
is
don't
just
have a
factor
choice
to me.
regardless. You're giving yourself the illusion of a choice. You don't have a choice. You're paying the taxes regardless, okay? There is no possibility for you to avoid paying the taxes. You just have the illusion of a choice, and that makes you happy. And if that makes you happy, I guess that's fine. You're still paying more in taxes. You said that the reason why you don't want to pay the taxes is because the government doesn't provide the service, but you're still paying the taxes, okay? You're still paying them. You cannot avoid them. If you grocery shop, okay, you are paying tariffs, okay, period, right? Even if you are buying American made, okay, completely on everything, you have to make sure that every single resource within that, right? If you go and buy a shirt, you have to prove that the cotton or the polyester in there was not come from another country, even if it was made in the United States, right? Because then you're still paying the tariff. If the threading was made in China, you're still paying the tariffs. Okay.
Well,
Even on
that's
American
fair.
made
Okay.
things, okay, you're still paying the tariffs. That's why I said you're only given the illusion of a choice. Donald Trump is literally bragging right now about the billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars that tariff revenue is bringing in. What he's bragging about is taxing the American people tens of billions and billions and billions of dollars. All right. So if you're not paying it, that just means the American consumer as a whole is paying it. And if you somehow found a way, right? If you somehow found a way to avoid every single tariff, which I truly and honestly believe, all right, that you don't have the ability to do, right? But even if you did somehow find a way to do that, okay, all you're bragging about is now paying higher costs on things. So it's still eating up any of that extra money that you would have gotten from that rate reduction.
No, but the higher cost is part of inflation, everything else, right? Donald Trump could cause inflation, Biden could cause inflation, the Fed could cause inflation. Actually, a lot of factors could cause inflation. That has very little to do with my income tax. Okay, let's just say, put it back a step. So Biden also kept a lot of Trump's tariffs there. So that doesn't mean by not electing Trump, I still have to pay those tariffs, right? He just added more tariffs, which is worse. But he at least gave you an option to lower income tax, which give you an option to choose. I'm more factor on the choose part. I'm not, the dollar amount, I understand inflation. I understand a lot of factors. Well, it's very basic supply and demand. So like, it's just if you have more money, then everybody drives the price. If you have less money in the market, stuff goes down. So
I'm not talking about inflation.
okay, I'm just saying.
No, I'm
prices
saying that you're going to pay
changes-
more, sir, because that's the way it works. If you put tariffs on everything, right? Like just pick a consumer product, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Okay, you just pick a consumer product, right? And then you
Okay.
slow you like you said, simple supply and demand. By putting tariffs on there, there's less in the market because you're not getting any from foreign areas. Therefore, if the demand stays the same and the supply lowers, the price goes up. All right. So tariffs are what are causing that inflation. Not to mention that depending on which product you're talking about, American made things are just more expensive, right? Because you can get cheap brooms and shit from China, right? Like I can get a broom on Amazon for $3, right? Made for some cheap broom in China. I doubt I can get an American made broom for $3, right? The labor
Yeah,
cost alone would
No.
destroy any of that. So even without inflation, just the fact that I am now having to choose to buy American, and like you said, wholly American, it's not just like I get to choose some things to buy American. If I'm completely avoiding taxes, avoiding tariffs, I have to buy everything American made. That's down to my broom, that's down to the tongs I use in my kitchen, or whatever, just the
Yeah,
smallest
but
little
what you're
consumer cheap
discussing
items.
is spending power, right? I'm talking about income tax, but your subject is spending power.
No, sir.
Right.
You're trying to isolate income tax, and we don't live in an isolated
No,
world.
but you want to talk about spending power. I want to talk about income tax, right?
No, I'm
That's two
talking
different
about
things, right?
paying taxes, and tariffs are part of that.
Okay, if tariffs are passive part of taxes, which is it's actually not, because you can't choose what you can avoid. But in your scenario, you said it's unavoidable due to everything blanket, right? But I believe it's actually not blanket. There's exceptions too. Am I correct?
They're starting to be exceptions now because Donald Trump, the administration realized they were destroying the economy with their tariffs. Before there
So
wasn't. No, they were
so now
literally.
it's not blanket anymore, right?
Well,
So
now
then I
it's
could
not blanket anymore, sir. The fact that it was
okay.
blanket, the tariffs are already done. Like that, like the income, the revenue to the U.S. government from taxes is already out there, and we're still having tariffs now. It's just not blanket. They were tariffing islands that didn't have people on it. They were tariffing penguins.
No, I'm not saying those things are right, right? I think you have to mix exception. I think I support it. I don't support tariffs. I do not support tariffs. So arguing with me on tariffs, like I'm actually on your side. I don't believe in tariffs. I don't believe in any tariffs. But I also believe a lot in choices. Now, when I talk about income tax, I focus on income tax. I'm not quoting income tax as spending power, because spending power is a much more complex than just a percentage of my income tax.
I'm not talking about spending power.
Okay, so if I get a 1% cut, I get extra $600. Is that good or bad for me?
It depends.
See, that's why would it depend? If the $600
It depends
is
on
mine,
what you're
right?
losing for that $600.
So that's spending power, right? How can this
Spending
what can
power
I
is
choose
way
that's
down in
good?
the United States, okay?
No,
But
no,
what
no.
I'm
But
saying is, what am I
no, no. But I'm
losing
saying
by 600?
no, no.
Like,
But no.
I'll give you an example, right? Like, if I
No, but
lose
can we
my,
focus
if
on the income tax for $600?
sir, you're asking
before
about
we?
this $600. I'm
Yes, does that
trying to
benefit
answer
me or
your
doesn't
question. I'm
benefit
sorry
me?
that you want a one
Okay.
word answer. That's not
Okay. No.
that's not the answer. You asked how it depends. I'm explaining it to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
If I stop paying my car payment, right? Then I might get, $400 back a month. But they're also going to repo my car. Is that a good thing because now I have $400 more?
No, it's a choice you make, right?
Yeah, it is a choice
If
I
you
make,
said
but is that a
okay,
good
so
thing? I'm asking you if it's a good thing that I have
maybe
now
you don't need a
lost
car.
the
Maybe you do
resource.
need a car. See,
Oh, I
that
do need a
depends
car.
now,
I
right? I
can't
can
get to
answer.
work without it.
Okay, so you cannot get work without the car. Then you made a bad choice, right? It had nothing to do. So that's not forced upon you. No one forced you to buy the car, right? Taxes
I'm
is
not
forced.
asking about whether the choice was good or
Okay.
not. I'm asking you, is it
See,
good that now I have $400 more?
it depends. It's like how you're going to spend the $400, right? It's
Yeah,
actually
I guess it
exactly say
does.
the same thing.
So when you
So
ask
there you
about
go.
whether that
So
$600 in your pocket is a good thing, it depends
I
on
believe
what
it's
you're
yes.
losing, okay, by getting that $600 back into your pocket.
Okay, so we can go back a step then. Would having the $600 be good or bad? Just in principle, the money wise, how you
I
spend
just
it.
answered
That's
your question.
no, you didn't. You said the car. I answered you with depend. You answered me with depend. That is soft. So the $400 as a net money, right? It's good, right? Can we agree on that?
No, we're
how
not
you
agreeing
react
on that. I've already
okay,
answered your question.
which part? Okay, no, maybe it's my fault. Okay, I didn't hear it clearly. Okay, so I'll go back to your car analogy. Okay, if you want me to answer, I said having the $400 as a net $400 is good for you. Is that clear? My point to you?
No.
What's that? No, I'm just saying like before
Dude,
everything.
what are
Before
you
the chain
fucking
reaction.
talking about, dude?
Okay, again, having extra money in your pocket is a net good. How it happens afterwards, it depends on a lot of factors, right? So we got to go step by step. So I'll just use what you said. If you don't pay your car, having $400 extra in your pocket, it's good. What it leads to, we can debate later.
Sir, what it leads to is part of whether it's good.
That's not how. Okay, so in that, then all your bank balance would just be like, oh, we don't know if it's good or not. You have more money in the bank, right? Because it depends on what happens next, right? That's not how balances are calculated.
Sure, I don't need to
Balance
know
are
what happens next. I can tell you what's going to happen next. I won't have a car. I don't have to wait for the car to leave or to figure out I can't get to work to realize whether it's good or not. I know from the
right.
get-go. That's the reason why I pay my car. Well, my car's paid off now, but that's the reason why I continue to pay my car payment, right? Is because I can look further into it and go, okay, what am I losing by this $600 coming back? Okay, and in this case, probably not much, right? We're probably not losing much, but the corporate tax rate, we actually did lose a lot, right? The reduction of the corporate tax rate by 14% and by another like 8% or
Why do
12%,
we
then
lose
8%, right? We did lose a lot of money, right?
Why
Our
do- why- no.
economy slows. We're seeing the jobs completely leave the United States, right? We've had over like 1 million firings just this year. The unemployment rate is going up, and spending power is way down, and the cost of living is going up. These are the negative side effects that we see, right? from
no,
Donald
no, no,
Trump's Donald Trump's trickle down economics form of tax cuts, right? These
no,
are
I have one
negatives. All
question.
right.
Just one question. So you believe the company that save money not paying taxes, they just keep them, they don't invest.
That's exactly what they do.
So I'll use any corporation. So you think innovation is free?
No, sir. I'm saying that companies innovate when the necessity to innovate comes along.
Right,
They hire when the necessity to hire comes along. They
right,
expand when the necessity to expand comes
right.
along. Giving them tax cuts does not force them to do any of those things, and they already would have done that things because again, these are already
No,
multi-billion
no.
dollar
Wait, no.
fucking like companies, right? These companies are
So
already doing that. All
no,
right,
no.
they're already investing. They're already
No.
expanding when they need to. They don't
Wait.
need a tax cut. Does not cause them to do that. We see exactly what they do with that tax cut money,
No.
and that's what they do. Things like stock buybacks. They give giant bonuses to their board members. Right? They give themselves money. Right? That money then sits up at the top. It stagnates our economy. It gives less money going down to the middle class for it to actually be spent, which actually slows our economy down.
No. Okay. Just give me one quick. Okay. So you're saying when a company saves more money, they don't make a better choice for the company. When the government takes more of their money, these extra money are much better spent than the company on themselves. That's pretty much what you're saying, right?
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay. Again, so when company saves extra, let's say the company saves $3 million. The $3 million in tax saving, the company is worse at making decisions on that $3 million than actually the government when you take the $3 million.
They're making a great decision for them, which is
Yeah.
to put the money in their pocket.
Yes. And then
That
what do you
is
think
that is the good decision
yeah, that's a good decision, right?
for
And you
them,
think
not
that's
for America.
how that not for America?
How is
innovation
it
come
good
from?
to give a $3 million bonus to a CEO? How does that help America?
Because he hit the milestones, right? So
Because he
that means
hit
the
the
company become more
milestones.
profitable.
The fuck
Yeah,
does
that's a
that mean?
bonus, right? Okay.
Yeah. How
You know
does
what's on
him
commission,
getting a
right?
bonus help America?
How does it help America? Because that $3 million, when he gets it, he still has to spend it. It's not like when you have $3 million. It's like
Why?
if I
He's
could give
already a
you
billionaire. Why does he need to spend it?
because he can buy for services that's more best.
He
Like
can,
you
but
said,
why does he
no,
need to spend it? He already had enough money to spend buy anything he fucking wanted. Why is he now going to spend this one?
because he wants to invest and make more money. How do you think
Sir, he's
innovation?
already invested making more money.
Okay.
Okay,
Again,
sir.
like
Sir. I think you have a confusion. The government is not good at spending our money. Okay? They're very not good at it. All right? They're
Okay.
very not good at it. All right? What
So
the
agree on
government
that. Yeah.
should be doing, right, is instead of giving that tax cut to corporations, we should be using that money, right, to give it into the middle and lower classes. Therefore, that people have more money to spend, right? But what Donald Trump is doing is the exact opposite. He's taking money away from people in the lower and middle classes through things like tariffs, through things like Medicaid cuts and SNAP benefit cuts, right? He's taking that money away from lower and middle class Americans and then giving it to these CEOs to stick in their pockets. All right. He's literally, someone just said reverse Robin Hood. That's a great way to put it. Literally reverse Robin Hood. He's literally robbing the poor to feed the rich. Okay. That is not good for our economy. That is not good for America. That is not helping anyone. Okay. It puts
No,
more strain on the middle class. It puts more strain on the lower classes. It hurts spending power. It hurts everything. Right? It hurts everything except for the pockets of rich people, which shouldn't be
no, it's
surprising
actually
to anyone that Donald Trump, being a billionaire, does policy that helps billionaires. That's pretty obvious.
no, because billionaire, like you said, it's like I said, billionaire is just a dollar amount. It's like I said, if I give someone $1 billion and no one wants to, like I said, if I give someone $1 billion, he can't spend the $1 billion. He actually very soon he just wastes all his money on nothing. What they do is they take a lot of their money and they spend it on projects that could potentially make $10 billion. But who's going to take that risk? Only people with the extra money. It's money.
They
is just a $2 million
already
amount.
have extra money.
No.
What are you,
They
sir,
have
sir,
extra-
sir,
okay.
listen,
Yeah, go ahead.
listen. I don't
Yeah.
think you understand the way this works. Okay?
Okay.
You think that corporations are getting tax cuts and then using that money to expand. They're not. Okay?
Okay,
They
so
are
they're
using
not,
it.
okay.
They are using it by putting it in their pockets. Okay? That is what is
so
happening.
Who's paying
Don-
these AI data
sir,
center then?
Sir, Who's paying for an
Okay.
AI data center? The people
Yeah.
that freaking got subsidies from the government to do so.
Right. No,
That
but
wasn't
government
from the
subsidy is actually
tax
very little.
cuts.
It's actually very little, the
The
subsidy
the
part.
no, they literally
The
got the
venture money
tax
is
cuts,
majority of the
stuck
money.
them in.
The
They
majority of money
literally
is
got,
actually
sir,
venture money.
they literally got the tax cuts, stuck it in their pocket, and then asked the government for more money to
Tax cut is
expand.
not
And then
money
the
to your
government, and
pocket.
sir,
The
and then
tax
the
cut is not
government
money from the
gave them
government.
more
Tax cut,
money, sir. And
no,
then the
okay,
government gave them more money. It wasn't
okay,
from the tax cuts. There are specific government subsidies, okay, to
right.
build chip factories. So they're getting the tax cuts, putting it in their pocket, sticking out their hand, asking the government for more money, and then the government gives them more money to do these things with.
No, I don't agree with that part. Okay, but there's a lot
This
of the
is what's
money they make.
happening.
No, that's not in every sector. Actually, a lot of AI sectors.
You didn't ask me about
they
every
are-
sector. You asked me about this sector, and that's what happened.
Okay, that's no. You're asking the chip sector. I'm asking about the AI sector, which is a little okay. Just like I said,
What do you think
these,
runs AI, sir? Do you think it's like clouds and Skittles?
No, what runs AI is people investing their capital into for more things. And where does
Chips.
this capital come from?
Chips run
People
AI.
with extra
Chips
capital.
do.
No. Where's the capital? Like I said, money is just a capital, right? Where are these capital coming from? The
AI
private
got
sector.
grants.
AI got grants, right?
Grants
You
from
think
the
grants
U.S.
is
government.
covering everything? It's covering everything?
I'm not saying it's covering everything,
Okay.
sir.
Exactly.
Sir, why are you trying to make it sound like it's everything? I'm not saying that people don't invest. People do invest. They don't use tax cut money to do so. This is already proven, sir. I don't need to I don't know what we're even having an argument about. Okay?
No, the
They
argument I
don't,
have
sir,
is like-
sir.
Yes.
They don't use tax cuts to invest in these things. Okay?
They don't use tax cut. Okay.
They
so
don't.
What do they use
Okay.
the tax for?
They use
Tax
they,
for.
they use personal funds and all sorts of other things in order to do all sorts of stuff, right? They're not using it for that. Again, if a guy has $1 billion, sir,
What's
sir,
that personal
sir,
funds?
sir,
Don't just say
sir,
personal funds.
sir,
Yes.
sir, if
Yes.
a guy has $1 billion,
Mhm.
okay, he can already invest in whatever AI funds he wants. Okay, he can invest in any fucking anything that he wants to do. Okay, giving that guy an extra $3 million in tax cuts doesn't give him more or less power to do any of that. Okay, it buys him a new yacht. All right, he's already making all the money.
Wait,
okay,
wait, I'm
but what
gonna
that
cut you
money
off right quick
doesn't
right
do,
here.
that
I'm gonna
money,
cut you off
that
real quick
money,
right here.
no, that
No,
money,
just-
no, that money doesn't
Yeah.
make it back down into the pockets of Americans as a whole. It only helps billionaires. Stop
Wait,
simping, sir. Stop,
No,
simp-
just-
sir.
oh.
Stop simping
Yeah.
for billionaires. You're never
I don't-
going to
I
be
don't
one.
care about simping
You
anymore.
are. You're simping for
I'm not
billionaires.
simping.
Okay.
I just- no,
You're
but you said
never
a very
going to
funny
be
thing.
one.
Can I just-
Okay. You're never
Can
going
I
to be
just say
one.
No, okay, thank you. Okay, can I say one thing? You just said a perfect word. You said he spent $3 million on a yacht, right? I'm going to assume that yacht is not built by himself, right? I'm going to assume that, right? Unless you think the yacht just miraculously granted by the government or somewhere it comes out. So that's how it works, right? The $3 million, it's still being spent back into the economy. It might not be where you want
It's
to
actually
spend it.
not. It's actually
so the yacht just came
stagnating
out of-
on the top, sir.
Where did the yacht come from?
Sir. The money is stagnating on the top. He could have bought that yacht regardless. He was a billionaire. Okay? He could have bought it anyway. All right? Whether he got the tax cuts or not did not change whether he bought the yacht.
But you just said that
Okay.
the $3 million, he's going to spend it on something he personally want to use, right?
No, he's not. They don't spend it. All the money's stagnated on the top. What about this are you not understanding? The money is stagnated on the top. That is the biggest problem with the shrinking of the middle class in the United States right now, is that all of the money, especially after COVID, where we saw a huge transfer of wealth, all of that money went up to the top and it stayed there. Okay, it didn't come back down. All right, we have a huge wealth disparity and a huge transfer of wealth in the United States because we have a huge percentage of the money in the United States that is sitting at the top, and it's just sitting there. It's not being spent on yachts
not
or
being
fucking
spent,
anything
okay.
else. It's just
So-
sitting there, and that money was sitting there before the tax cuts, and now it's just more money to sit there. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just based on your say, all this money whenever billionaires or whatever, when they accumulate more money, they just don't spend it, right? They don't spend it, they just accumulate, right? The money just accumulates in a bank account. It's a number, right?
Sir, not
Am I,
all
am,
money sits up. Sir, this is ridiculous. You're literally arguing trickle down economics. You know we've disproven trickle down economics for
I'm not
35
arguing
years.
trickle
Sir.
down. No, no,
Yes,
no.
you
I'm
are.
actually not arguing trickle down. No.
Sir,
See,
if you don't,
now you're
sir,
forcing me into a
then
position
you
I
don't know
believe
what
in.
trickle down economics is. That's the only thing. Either you're arguing trickle down economics, or you don't understand what trickle down economics is because you're literally arguing for it.
No, trickle down actually doesn't put a lot of value in innovation. I put a lot of money in innovation, but the
Sir,
only people who can do innovation are people with a lot of capitals.
Sir,
Because
you're
it's a risk.
literally
Yeah.
arguing for trickle down economics. That is literally
No.
what trickle down economics is. You're saying that if freaking we
Mhm.
give tax cuts to billionaires, then they will use that money to invest in smaller things or build yachts or any of that stuff. That is literally the definition of trickle down economics.
No, they actually spend most of the money on innovation and taking a risk. Risk takes a lot. Risk is very pricey. The only people who can afford to take a risk are people with extra capital. Because if you don't have extra capital, it's very hard for you to take leap forward risk. That's why you need them on the top to take those kind of risks.
Sir,
I wish I can take those risks. I can't.
You're right, and you never will be able to. Okay, but again, these
Yeah.
people already could take that risk. Okay, they're not taking more or less risk based off of tax cuts.
So if what you said is correct, then all the Fortune 10 companies never change hands, right? Because you're saying the people on top stays on the top regardless, and the people at the bottom doesn't climb up. But the Fortune 10 company actually change hands a lot, the top 5, because more people are taking more risk leaping forward. In your analogy,
What?
I think these companies would stay.
What are you fucking talking? I never said any of that shit.
Okay.
What are you fucking
No,
talking about? Are you
I
just
talk
making
about
up things that I'm saying?
No,
Like, are you hearing? Are you hearing them in your head?
No. Okay. Again, you're saying is people at the top stays at the top regardless how much money they get extra. Am I correct or
that's
not?
not what I said at all, dude.
Okay. So when a corporation gets $3 million extra, that $3 million extra is given as a bonus or stock buyback. That has no benefit to everyone.
Correct.
Am I correct or not?
Correct.
Okay. Has no benefit to everyone, right?
Correct.
Okay. So now, if I would explain myself, if that scenario is correct, then those $3 million will actually that $3 million would disappear from the economy, right? Because it has no impact. Because, like you said, it doesn't affect everyone else. It will disappear from the economy, right? It doesn't circulate anywhere, right?
It doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't, right? Okay, so if it doesn't, then when you stock buyback or anything else, when the stock value goes up, everyone's portfolio goes up. That has no impact, right?
No, the very small amount of people that are inside that have stock in that goes up. The very, very small percentage of people are affected by that. Okay, the minute amount of people, if Walmart does stock buybacks, okay, it only affects the people that have stock in Walmart. Okay.
Actually, that's to buy
and
stock
that's
back at a price.
and that's not the majority of the middle class. It's not even it's the very underwhelming minority of anyone in the middle class actually has stock in Walmart. Okay, where that money could go back and actually affect,
I believe a lot
literally
of
hundreds of thousands, if not millions
Walmart.
of people, and actually put more money in their pockets. Okay, but instead it affects the people who have stock in Walmart, and that is my problem.
Wait, so in your scenario, it would be like
this is not my scenario. This is just an observation.
Okay, your observation is what you're saying is it's taxed the corporate higher, and these money go directly to the consumer.
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying basically you want to.
I don't know if you mean directly.
Okay, so how would it be indirectly then? Government's not.
Yeah, you do it by
making
making things cheaper to put more money in the pocket. You don't hand stimulus checks to people. That would be direct, right?
Okay.
If you tax the corporations higher and then you provide things like universal health care, right?
Okay.
Then
so if you tax
hold on, sir.
higher,
I'm not near finished, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you were to freaking tax the corporations at the correct length and then give universal health care in the United States, then people save all of the money that they would have spent on universal health care. All right, on their healthcare for their insurance costs, all that sort of stuff. Now they have more money in their pocket, and then they spend that money, and that boosts the economy, right? Like that. That's how that works. If you provide services for free, for people, right, then it gives them more money in their pockets to be able to spend, right? Like things like home buyer assistance, right? Subsidizing the house building to have to give more supply in the system to build more houses, right? Then the price of houses go down, therefore rent prices go down, therefore people have more money in their pockets, right? You use it to subsidize, the auto industry, therefore cars are cheaper. If cars are cheaper, then people spend less in their car payment. If there's less money on their car payment, then they have more money in their pocket, and they spend that money, and it stimulates the economy. Right,
Okay. So I have one
you're
counter.
consistently putting more money in the pockets of the middle and lower classes instead of putting in the pockets of billionaires, because that overwhelmingly affects rich people or wealthier people or better off people that have things like stock portfolios. That affects them a lot more. Instead, you can help millions and millions, if not tens of millions of people, right, to actually freaking be able to afford things better.
I have a super simple counter. Okay. Can the company just raise the price of their goods
Yes,
to make up whatever the money you want to
the
give out?
market dictates price, not company.
Actually, the company dictates price.
No, market dictates price.
No. Market dictates the needs. Company dictates the price.
The market dictates the price.
Okay, the market dictates the price. Okay, so if a company become unprofitable, then they will have to raise the price. Would that be fair to say?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so if it's unprofitable, the company still needs to take a loss, right? In your scenario.
It depends on the scenario.
No, you just said it. You said, hey, $3 million goes out to lower the cost of everything else, right? The company said, you know what, we probably need $3 million to pay this better CEO the bonus. Another company might take them, right? So
Sure.
what do we do?
I'll give you an example. Donald Trump lowered the corporate tax cut by like 14%, and all the companies raised their prices anyway.
Yes. So the market
They
the price,
they
right?
they literally inflated their price. Okay, after they got corporate tax cuts. So we gave them a break on their taxes, and they raised consumer prices.
Right. No, but you're saying that $3 million doesn't help with everyone else, right? It just helps them. But the point is, like, if the price is raised, has very little to do with the company on top. So I'm just saying, okay, if the company wants to raise the price, or the market wants them to raise the price, and they can't pay that $3 million to the CEO they want, what should they do? Should they just find another $3 million somewhere?
Yeah, that would be great if that was a scenario that was happening, but that's not what's happening. That is a difference in giving a corporate tax break to companies that are not profitable and giving it to ones that are already insanely profitable. Okay, you're making a huge distinction here that doesn't exist. You're saying, oh, well, Walmart, got an extra, 10 billion in tax cuts last year, and they have to put it back in the company because they're not profitable. They got their corporate tax cuts in years where they were the most profitable the company had ever been.
Right. And what I'm trying to say is, when Walmart has $10 billion in profit, Walmart just doesn't sit there and say, I got $10 billion out profit, I'm not going to spend it. They might not spend it where you want or you like it, but they're going to spend that $10 billion.
That's exactly what they do.
Yeah, they want to spend what they want to like it. Which is pretty
Sir, they don't spend money just because they get it. For some reason, people have this ridiculous idea, right? That if corporations make more money, they start paying their workers better, they start expanding, they start innovating, they don't do any of that shit. Okay? If they make $10 billion, then that means they rich people just have $10 billion. That's it.
No, I actually don't believe that also. I don't believe they'll pay their workers, and I also don't believe they're going to keep the $10 billion. I think when they have more capital, they just take more risk on the next thing. That's how I see different from you, okay?
Sure, they were already the most profitable. They already were. They already could take the risk. I don't know what. I feel like we're talking in circles at this point. Like, I feel like maybe you're just not understanding this.
No, I understand your
like
point.
maybe
Your
like
view
I
is just
like I don't really like it feels like
Yeah.
we're just saying the same things we've already been saying. Okay, and you for some reason can't like understand it.
No, I understand you. I'm just saying. I said, I 100% agree with you. The $10 billion are not going to the workers, okay? I 100%.
They're not going to anyone, and they're not stimulating the economy. We've already gone through this, dude.
How is it not going to anyone? Who do you think fund all these startups? Like, it's like, who do you think fund them? Like, why do you think venture?
Lots of people fund startups, sir. And lots of people.
Where the money?
Usually people that were already not from fucking tax cuts.
No, not from tax cuts.
Not from fucking tax cuts. That's where it's coming from. Not from tax cuts. Were startups being funded when the corporate tax rate was 35%?
There was a lot more IPO during Trump.
Yes. The answer is yes. They were funding, sir. These same rich people were funding startups when the tax rate was 35%. They're not funding more now that it's down to like 15% or whatever the fuck
No,
it is
but
now.
so
They're not,
then
sir,
what
sir, they're not funding more. Okay? They're not funding more.
If
It
they're
is not the
funding more,
job
why
of
is there
the.
more IPO? If they're not funding more, there wouldn't be more IPO, right? If they're funding the same, IPO number should be stayed the same, right? You can look it up.
Sir,
If
those
you
have
allow more
constantly
IPO
risen regardless of the tax cuts.
Okay, so the more IPO, the more money.
Sir,
going to
those
the
were
tax-
constantly rising regardless of the tax cuts.
No, it actually dropped after Trump left. Believe it or not, the IPO numbers. You
They
can look
dropped
it up.
because
Like,
of
I'm not-
COVID, because people weren't starting businesses.
No.
Nobody was
Actually, the
starting
last 2
anything
years
during
Biden-
COVID because companies were companies that just started up were falling out of the fucking sky because people were like I had a friend of mine who opened up a brand new fucking gym. Okay. And then COVID hit, and then there was no one that could come to his gym. Okay.
That's just a small business.
Yes, I
IPO is
understand,
a lot
sir. I'm
more
making a
money.
fucking
Yeah.
example. Okay. Of course, COVID had a negative effect on the economy. Okay. We're not, I don't know why we're like, is that seriously the argument that you're trying to make right now? Is that, oh, COVID happened, so there was less IPOs? Like that's what you're arguing?
No, I'm saying the last 2 years. Okay, I'll just be fair. When the COVID effect is over, so you can look at the IPO numbers.
It's not over and it won't be over for a while.
So we never have a point we can compare data, right?
Yeah. In the future, we will, but not now.
Okay.
All right.
So in that
But,
scenario,
sir,
then the IPO number, yeah.
sir, I'm tired of talking in circles with you. Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
All right.
Okay,
So
yeah,
I'm going to move on to the next person. Hope you have a good one.
Thank
All
you,
right.
thank you for your time. Yeah.
Yeah. I am tired of talking in circles with you. There's only so many times I can repeat the same things over and over because maybe he just doesn't get it. That's okay. That's okay. The simping for billionaires things is very, very weird though. Yo, make sure you hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. Nikki, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So the electricity in the city's AI data centers went up by 20%, hurting the people in that city. That's a very good point. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that. Y'all, if you like sport, I do have super chats open. I have pay links in the bio. I have all that stuff. I don't remember what else I have. Oh, I'm still waiting on this last coral over here too. I've had a gift goal of 3 for an hour and a half. I haven't hit it. Very sad. Nikki, also thank you so much for the happy poop. I appreciate that. That was literally like someone said they were getting dizzy. I'm like, I feel that. I also agree. Getting very dizzy. All right. Let us, what do I do here? Trying to decide if I should keep going or Let's see. All right, we'll take one more phone call. We'll see if it's any better than that last one. Ooh, and lady, thank you so much for that too. I appreciate that. And send one. Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try a little bit. I was actually only gonna do about an hour. And after that last guy, I'm kind of like, maybe I should have just cut it off at an hour. This phone better ring real quick, or I'm definitely gonna be calling it a day. Going once, going twice. All right, never mind. I'm getting off. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Actually, I won't see you guys tomorrow. I'll be back on Tuesday. Tomorrow's my day off because I'm gonna watch the Chargers game. So anyways, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Hope you guys have a really, really good one. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Go Chargers. Hell yeah. Bye.